What's up, everybody? Welcome again to another episode of the Scoreboard, episode 15 this week, Maddie.
Whoa!
Holy moly.
Holy moly.
For Monday, September 27th, 2021, I'm your host, Eric Soonblad, alongside Eagle County's #1 sports fan, Maddie Evans. Maddie, you have a good weekend? You get some sports in?
Oh, always. Football is now underway, like professional football, which that gets everyone hyped.
Yeah, a lot of hype for the Broncos right now. 3-0 on their season. We're not covering the Broncos. I wish we were covering the Avalanche. They first preseason game is tomorrow on Tuesday night. I've been following training camp, but none of those happen to be Eagle County high school sports. So not here on the Scoreboard, folks. But for this week, we were able to cover Battle Mountain Huskies against Atlas Preparatory School in soccer. Another one of those teams that they're bringing up from Denver to get their teeth really sharpened before the playoffs start off.
Yeah, which is awesome because they've been doing that with not only soccer but with football and really pushing themselves to the nines here as they're competing against some schools that are ranked #1 in the state right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to bring in tough competition so you're not surprised by it when it comes to the playoffs. So big focus on your Huskies versus Atlas Prep School in soccer. Also, I haven't been able to cover too much volleyball this year because of the Glenwood Canyon closures. It keeps pushing games around to different venues than I expect. Yeah, so I've actually only been able to see one Huskies home game. The rest of them have been spread all over kind of the state here, well, the I-70 corridor, really. So I wanted to take a long-form bit of time to speak with their head coach, Shelby Crummer, and just talk about how the season's been going and what to expect and who to watch for in the game. So that was a great long interview.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who is like their top players, only because we create some very intense athletes out here in the mountain towns, and I'm excited to see what they've got going for them.
Yo, volleyball's intense.
I know. It's scary.
Have like the loudest fans in volleyball too.
I know.
It's crazy. It's super cool.
Yeah. It's one of those sports here that's really big.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. So we got a great scoreboard in show for you. I will be wrapping up with a look at standings and everything of that nature at the end of the show. But for now, we're going to take a short little commercial break and come back with more of the Scoreboard.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard. I'm one of your hosts, Maddie Evans. Now, we've been kind of lacking in getting to see the girls volleyball for the Battle Mountain Huskies, only because they've had such a unique season, as it's been kind of tricky for them to get the opponents that they normally play with that I-70 corridor shut down in Glenwood Canyon for so long. So we got a chance to catch up with the head coach, see how she's feeling about the season, see what she has in store for hopefully the girls for the rest of the season, and so much more. Let's take a look.
I'm joined today by Battle Mountain Huskies head coach Shelby Crummer, and since I haven't been able to get to many home games, I wanted to take a little bit of time to speak to you, Shelby, kind of about how the season has been going, what's left ahead in the season, and who are some standout players. But first, I want to start off with, so I've only been able to attend one Battle Mountain home game, and then an away game when you played Vail Mountain School. Your fans bring the fire. It is amazing, like louder than football, louder than soccer or lacrosse. What is it that sparks your fans for your team? They're so loud.
Yeah, no, I think that I would hope to say that the energy from the athletes that are involved in the sport and the team overall, the program overall, they're so on fire about what they love, which is the game. And so I would say the effort coming from their passion just spreads throughout the gym, depending on where we are in the scenarios. But I would say that the people they love to get involved, love seeing them excited for the game. And so I would say that just spreads all around.
But I know when I was at Vail Mountain School, like you guys were just drowning out the Gore Rangers fans. It was super cool to see. So Congrats on building up such a great fan base. It's awesome. So as far as the season that we've played so far, it's been a little bit tricky as a result of Glenwood Canyon closures and potential for mudslides. So right now, you're sitting at 1-4, but to me, that's not really indicative of how your team has been playing.
Yeah, no, they are such a talented group this year and moving forward. I'm really excited to see what the rest of the season looks like. And it's tough to be in a 1-4 position, right? You don't want that. You don't want to be outnumbered by the ladder, of course. But at the end of the day, we've had a lot of conversations about how we're going to keep pressing and keep the love of the game at the forefront and give all that we have moving forward. And I don't think that this trend was going to continue. So I'm really excited to kind of keep their heads in a healthy space as far as how to move into a more successful season when it comes to that win-loss level there. So I think that although you don't want to have a 1-4 start, all we can do is play moving forward. So I think they're excited for that.
Now, as far as some standout players, who should I be looking for at the games to really excel as far as both defense and offensively?
Yeah, no, we have a stellar varsity level this year. We've got 7 seniors. There's not a whole lot that you can miss, but I would say that we have a very strong defense. We've got 3 senior defensive specialists, and 1 usually will dress in a libero jersey for a different specific defensive role each game. And I would say it's interesting talking to other head coaches within the league, and oftentimes they'll bring up that they cannot get around, if they can get around our block, which we have phenomenal blockers this year as well, and now is my time to brag.
Yeah.
And if they are able to get around our block and move into where we have our defense outside of the block, they oftentimes are so frustrated that they can't get past the defensive player, so they'll tip or they'll get into kind of a different strategy of the game where some people perceive it as desperate, but at a different point in time they have to kind of put our defensive players on their toes. And so I'm really proud to have a defense that makes other teams' offense have to really think and push and press around different angles of the game. So I'm really proud of that. And then offensively, once our defense does their work, I mean, I want to brag about everyone, but our offense is really stellar too. I just had a Palisade coach said, "You've got some girls that can rip." And so we're really trying to stretch our own game and go from ripping to tipping and different things to try to stay on top of it.
I've noticed in the couple games that I've been able to watch, you guys score some major points off of serves. You've got some really powerful servers that can just cause other teams to scramble and dive and miss balls.
Yeah, no, we love the advantage of having serve. Sometimes it's tough to keep the serve in the game because you have all that pressure, you have adrenaline, and sometimes your fundamentals just bomb it out the back, or that mental piece of the game can be difficult. But when we get our strong servers back there, we've got consistent servers, we've got really threatening servers, and so we definitely like to mix it up and be strategic with the ways that we place the serves and stuff like that. So when we're on and when our serves are in, they're really difficult to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it in action. You guys
Yeah.
have an impressive team. So after Summit County, then you start kind of playing some out-of-county games.
Sure.
You were talking about another Glenwood and Palisade kind of not back-to-back in the same day, but after that, after having faced them a couple weeks ago, any strategies that you're kind of building to help get victories out of those two?
Yeah, we had a back-to-back game a week or so ago against Palisade, or Glenwood then Palisade, and we didn't finish. That's what we're focusing on within our mental capacity, and our physical skill is there. I think that the team and the coaching staff is focusing on finishing at every level. There was a set between Glenwood and ourselves where I believe we were up 18-12, and we ended up losing that set because maybe we checked out, or maybe we got a little too comfortable when there wasn't comfort to have, and we weren't able to really push to 25 to end the set. And so I would say coming in with a level of intensity that remains, not just coming in with a level of intensity that comes and goes, but just kind of maintaining that press so that we can accomplish what we'd like and not just feel okay and then slack back and let them take the set from us. So yeah, that intensity, I would say, needs to be focused on throughout the whole thing.
But you guys are, despite the record, like I said, your team looks amazing. So we're looking for big things for the end of the season. And best of luck against Summit County and then the rest of the way. I can't wait to give you guys some more love and cover some home games, Shelby.
Thank you. We're excited to keep playing. We love it.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. And thanks for watching the Scoreboard. We'll have plenty on your Battle Mountain Huskies volleyball team throughout the course of their season, and plenty more of the Scoreboard coming up next. Welcome back to the Scoreboard, friends. Let's head on down to Huskies Stadium on a Saturday morning, afternoon brunch, a Saturday brunch time at 11, and catch up with your Huskies soccer team as they face another non-league Front Range opponent in Atlas Preparatory School. Now remember, Battle Mountain has been trying to face off against Denver-based Front Range teams. Atlas Prep School, we'll still count them as Denver-based even though they're Colorado Springs, and this is in an effort to prep their teams for the upcoming playoffs. Coach David Cope was a little concerned after last year's playoffs, seeing so much success from their team in the regular season only to find that they hit an absolute brick wall of competition when they started facing off against the bigger schools. So in an effort to better prepare his team for the playoffs, he's been lining up some various Denver-based teams. This week, Atlas Preparatory School out of Colorado Springs. Let's see how your Huskies did against one of these bigger schools. Starting things off with a little bit of a game chant from Battle Mountain. I love this bit of teamwork that they've got going on. I love that "We Ready" cheer. So let's revel in the "We Ready" cheer and get things kicked off for your Battle Mountain Huskies. Now, this next play we're watching here is just a great example of Atlas Prep School's ability to both take the ball and contain the ball. They were great at getting into the passing lanes and playing some excellent defense against the Huskies. That was a typical 2-on-1 that the Huskies love to kind of pull the goalie to the side of the net and then cross it over to the center. Here's a great opportunity off a corner kick, big header, just over the net, dang it. There's another big header into big header and a big battle for the ball here. Atlas Prep School kicks it just through the 2D. Oh no! Big save by Cruz Ramirez right off the toe of his shoe. That was incredible, but not just 2 minutes later. Here's a big break for Atlas Prep. Oh, how are you going to stop that? Soccer nets are big, folks. Cruz Ramirez has got some hop to him. He just could not touch that ball as it squeaks in just under the post. There we go, kicking off the second half. Moving on to Atlas, getting another breakaway and past Cruz Ramirez. Atlas now up 2-0, and remember, your Huskies are known for going into second halves down and having some great locker room speeches by none other than Sam Kuntz, and here he is. He's got the ball flying down the wing with a squeaker off the goalie and into the net, brings the Huskies within one. And here we go again, Sam Kuntz chasing, he's got the ball, he's gonna make a great feed up the center to Yair, and it's in the net. We are now tied at 2 with just about half of the game played at this point, about 30 minutes left in the second half. And things would be tight throughout the remainder of the game. Back and forth, each team would have their chances. Cruz Ramirez with a great stop there to kind of get near closing things off on this first half. And this game would end up going to overtime. We're going to watch a few more great chances here from your Huskies. Oh, they're past it. Nope. Atlas, great D, putting a player behind the goalie to ensure that that goal does not go in the net. And here's another play from Atlas just into the net. And that was it in overtime. You see Atlas cruising out onto the field. They're stoked. We had a chance to catch up with Battle Mountain Huskies head coach David Cope after the game to talk about this loss and some upcoming games in their season. Let's hear from David now. Following a tight 3-2 overtime defeat to Atlas Prep, I wanted to chat with Huskies head coach David Cope. David, thanks for joining me, man. So you're facing off against these Denver teams to give yourself some playoff prep. Do you think facing off against Atlas really helped that?
Yeah, today's a great game, and it's a great lesson for our guys, and I thought we played really well. And to go in the locker room down, and then to give up an early goal and be down 2, and then we showed so much resilience and grit, and that's what we're trying to emphasize with guys, coming out of the pandemic is hey, things happen, bad things happen to good people, and it's how you respond. And I thought our response today was fantastic, and we scored 2 great goals, got ourselves back in the game, gave ourselves a chance in overtime, and we lost to a good team today, so yeah, our heads are held high.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had very similar results coming into today. They were 5-2, you were 5-1, you were 5-2.
Yeah.
So I mean, very even matched, and that's what I saw watching it, which was very even matched. I thought you guys did a great job of really cutting off some of their passes in the first half there.
Yeah, I thought defensively we were actually quite good, even though we gave up 2 goals. The energy was good. It's a hot day out here, and I thought we played well. I thought both keepers made good saves, and we could have gone in the locker room up. They could have gone in up, and it turned out it was them. And I was super proud of our guys. Nobody was blaming each other, and everybody was sticking together. And in the end, our quality showed through, and we scored 2 good goals.
Yeah, that was great to see at the beginning of the second half. So tell me now, you guys, kind of story of resiliency for multiple games in a row now. You go into half down, you're able to come back out, and today it was Sam Coots both scoring a goal and getting an assist. Is he a vocal player in the locker room?
Yeah, Sam's a fantastic leader, and he was a starting linebacker last fall for football when we didn't have a season, and he's just a gritty kid. And I thought we had a whole team of gritty kids, and the kids who didn't get into the game today were bought in, and we're on the bench, and we're engaged in the game. So our second halves are really good. If we could sort out our first halves in overtime, we'll be all right in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, plenty of time to do that. Still a long season left to go, David. Well, thank you so much for joining me, though.
Thanks, appreciate having
good
you.
luck at Steamboats this coming up week. That's an away game.
Thanks, and tune into the Scoreboard Show. Best high school sports going right now.
David Cope says it right there. Thanks, David. And yep, as he said, make sure to tune into the Scoreboard for everything on your Battle Mountain Huskies. Welcome back once again to the Scoreboard, friends, and big thanks to Battle Mountain Huskies head coach David Cope for giving us that wonderful post-game interview after that loss to Atlas Preparatory School. Now let's take a look at the standings where Battle Mountain Huskies soccer sits before we move on to a recap of the rest of the week's games. Now remember, they beat Summit County 3-0 on Tuesday, October 21st, and then lost to Atlas Preparatory School this past Saturday. Now, where does that leave them in the overall standings? Let me rub my hands together, see if I can conjure some magic standings juice, and standings appear. There you go. You're taking a look at your standings. Despite the loss to Atlas Prep, Battle Mountain still #1 in the league. They have not lost a league game yet. Eagle Valley also looking strong. And Vail Mountain School. Now, I haven't talked about them yet today when it comes to soccer, but they have themselves a heck of a week, just like Battle Mountain did as well. Now, they happened to lose to Eagle Valley 1-0, but that was an overtime game earlier this week. And then they actually beat Denver Christian 6-2. Huge victory for Vail Mountain School. And I won't be able to cover them until October 9th. Their next home game is actually against the Battle Mountain Huskies on October 9th. That one is circled on my calendar. Calendar? Both at the same time? My calendar. That one is circled on my calendar at the moment. I can't wait to watch the Gore Rangers and Huskies face off. Well, let's head over to another sport that takes place on the same field as soccer. Involves a different ball called by the name of soccer if soccer was in Europe. That's right, it's football, American football. How did your Huskies do heading down south to Pueblo to face off against Pueblo Central? Well, as I'm looking at my hands, I'm not seeing a lot of nails. That's because it was a nail-biter of a game. But unfortunately, your Huskies did lose 35-36 to Pueblo Central. They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, though. Talk about an attempt at a comeback. My gosh, Jim Schupler, you had your Huskies prepped for one of these bigger front range teams, even though Pueblo's down south. I'm calling them front range, but they just couldn't quite pull it off. So let's do a little bit of side pull standings magic here and check out your football standings where your Battle Mountain Huskies currently sit. Well, unfortunately, they are last in their league, but the big thing I want you to notice, nobody has played a league game yet. Battle Mountain's been trying to face off against very difficult competition in order to gain more points to make the playoffs. Eagle Valley having themselves a heck of a season, though, currently 3-0 on the season. And your Huskies, well, they're going to take a bit of a break. We won't see them again in either away or home until Friday, October 8th, when they face off against Palisade. That should be an exciting time. So we got a 1-week break from your Huskies football before we get into Palisade. This week, Eagle Valley had their bye week. And for the final sport that we've been focusing in on covering this fall, well, that's girls volleyball. So let's do magic powder. We did a side pull. Let's do a top pull for these standings. Come here, volleyball. Rah! Come and hang out with me. All right, volleyball standings. We had a great interview earlier this show with Battle Mountain Huskies head coach Shelby Crummer, and unfortunately, that did not motivate the girls to pick up a win. They did end up losing their game when they headed down to Evergreen. So they ended up losing in 3 sets to Evergreen, but we've got them coming up for their homecoming game this week. That's going to be exciting. As far as the standings for their 4A Western Slope League, they are currently second to last place, just above Summit County. Haha, in your face, Summit County, you have no wins quite yet this year. Battle Mountain, still plenty of time to set things straight and get a win under their belt. Now, upcoming this week, the games that I'm going to be covering and bringing to you, all of the home games across Battle Mountain and Vail Mountain School. On Tuesday, we've got your Battle Mountain girls volleyball team against Summit County, 6:30 p.m. This is a Casino Royale homecoming game, so everybody's going to be in costumes, shimmery dresses. I'm going to try to wear the fanciest clothes that I have. Might involve a leather jacket. Who knows? That's pretty fancy, right? So Tuesday, we've got a great volleyball game. Friday, we've got another volleyball game, this time from Vail Mountain School facing off against Caprock Academy. That one's at 5 p.m. And then on Saturday, 5 p.m. again, we've got Battle Mountain Huskies boys soccer, another non-league opponent, this time Denver East, all in an effort to prep them for the playoffs. And as we just saw with the standings, they are looking locked and loaded to make the playoffs this year. So it's all ensuring that they are tuned up and ready to go against the best competition. And that'll do it for your scoreboard this week. It was a light scoreboard with just one home game for me to cover, so a lot of in-depth interviews that I really enjoy getting to do, kind of flex my journalist muscle and get a look behind the scenes through the coaches. And I've got some exciting news in scoreboard land coming up right after this show, actually. Every Monday at 6:30, you can now watch a brand new show that covers 3 different markets. We're just launching it, episode 1 tonight. It's called Scoreboard Nation. It covers the Reno Tahoe market, Park City market, and us here in Vail. This week, crazy exciting show. We went kayaking in Lake Tahoe. We went slacklining, which if you're a fan of Scoreboard, you know where that one came from. That's right, our buddy Davis Hermes appears on Scoreboard Nation now. They went for a Sky Combat Ace high flying ride out of Reno. That's actually, you get in a fighter jet and you kind of fake dog fight. But you're in a real fighter jet. Fascinating. It's really cool stuff. And then finally, they went on a great hike in Park City up to Bell's Canyon, see some cool waterfalls. So don't forget, you've got 2 scoreboards here for you now in Eagle County. Your scoreboard with your beloved host, Eric Soonblad, that will cover Eagle County sports, and then Scoreboard Nation, a look at some crazy adventures around other mountain communities. You're not going to want to miss that. Remember, every Monday at 6 p.m., you can tune in to the Scoreboard here. Always check us out on thescoreboardnation.com. And remember, if you can't catch the score, you can always catch the scoreboard.